Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all having a blessed day. 9:20, nearly 9:20. Well, 9:20, pretty much. Yeah. Not like I say, I just been up to town today. Bought a couple of tops from Primani, classy guy that I am. All class. I'll eat my caviar and sip my champagne in a bit. I'm only joking. While I'm wearing my Primani top. No, I won't. Yeah. None of that really matters. I've come to learn anyway. As long as you got what you need, that's all that really matters. That's the truth. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've come to learn. Yeah, there might come a time in your life when you got more, but as long as you got what you need, that's all you have to care about, really. Do you know what I mean? In my eyes, at least. Everyone thinks differently, though. So, do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Everyone thinks differently. But with me, as long as I've got a roof over my head, as long as I've got food in my belly and clothes on my back, I'm quite happy. Do you know what I mean? Don't need nothing else, to be honest with you. All the rest of it is just excess. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't take any of it with you. Do you know what I mean? This is what I've come to learn. Can't take any of it with you. It's all borrowed. It's all from the Lord. So it's one of them. I'm quite easygoing these days. I don't. As long as I got what I need, I don't really stress too much. It's one of them. But everyone's different. Like I say, everyone thinks differently. So, but yeah. The Bible says by being generous, that's how you acquire more blessings anyway. So, do you know what I mean? That's what the Bible says. Not everyone believes in the Bible. I do personally, but not everybody does. But it's about being patient when you've. It's about being patient in the waiting seasons. Do you know what I mean? In the when you've got nothing, it's about your attitude. Your attitude when you got nothing. Your patience when you got nothing, and your attitude when you got everything. Do you know what I mean? That's what someone said the once, and it stuck with me. I thought, sounds like a good sign. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but everyone thinks differently, like I say. But yeah, just plodding on with life, really. Not not really. Yeah, just plodding on with life. Just yeah, I'd say building new connections, but only one or two maybe. But I wouldn't say they're really built yet. They're just in the first stages. So, but yeah, just gonna crack on with my work soon. So I need to try and pull it back. Because I've only got a few more days left, and I've got quite a few days to do still, so it's like down to the wire. It's like, am I going to get it done? Am I not going to get it done? Kind of thing. It's hard to say. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to say. That's all I can say. But yeah. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't really bother me because I've already got a little bit of an education behind me. Nothing major, but I'm working towards that. So, do you know what I mean? It's doesn't really bother me if this course doesn't work out for whatever reason, be it the devil attacking my mind and slowing me down or whatever. It's all a learning curve. Do you know what I mean? I know what to expect in the future, so maybe I haven't tried hard enough. I don't know. It could be a bit of both. It could be one or the other, or a bit of both. But it's a learning curve. I put it down to experience. Like I say, the devil has been attacking my mind a lot, and I think that's really slowed me down. To be honest, a hell of a lot. So yeah, I'll put that down to experience. I know what he's up to now. I know his little tricks, his little schemes. So I'll be better equipped if I do another course, or I do an apprenticeship, or I do whatever I do. I'm going to be more equipped, so to see what he's up to and know what he tries to do. So it's all good, guys. It's all good. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, as long as I'm getting by, that's all I really care about. Do you know what I mean? And I am right now, so that's all I'm bothered about. Do you know what I mean? I don't stress too much. It's that'll put you in an early grave. Do you know what I mean? If you want a long life, stress free is the way to go. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. So yeah. But we all have responsibilities and stuff we gotta take care of. So it's hard to have a stress-free life, but when you can make it less stressful on yourself, you should. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, at least in my opinion, anyway. There's no point stressing about every little thing, because you will put yourself in an early grave doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, as long as I've got what I need, I'm not bothered. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. As long as I'm getting by, I'm not bothered. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. I've learnt to see things differently in the last year. Different people have made me see things differently. I've contributed to that. God's contributed to that. People I've come across who've had a different perspective on life have made me think that. Do you know what I mean? It's you only really need what you need. Do you know what I mean? Everything else, the Matrix wants us panicking about everything and stressing over everything and killing each other, and do you know what I mean? That's what the Matrix wants. They ultimately want us to go to hell. So do you know what I mean? It's so yeah, that's why it's like a pressure cooker all the time. Do you know what I mean? And this is why life is how it is. But you only have to play that game so much if you want to play that game so much. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. If you're happy enough with just what you need, then it takes a lot of that away. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's the devil got hanging over you if you're happy with just what you need? Do you know what I mean? He's not got much hanging over you, nothing, not much to stress you out. Do you know what I mean? Not much to really stress you with, make you worry with. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're getting by, you're getting by. Do you know what I mean? And that's everything. And God always makes sure you got enough to get by anyway. He has in my life anyway. That's all I can go on. Do you know what I mean? So I've always got by. Always got by. Do you know what I mean? And whether it's been living on my own or with parents, I've always got by. So I don't do silly things. Admittedly, I'm quite level-headed. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, still God's grace, I believe, that keeps me going and keeps me afloat and keeps me how I need to be. So yeah, I put it all down to the Lord. Lord always provides me with what I need. That's all I can say. I always end up with what I need to do what I need to do, and for this season of my life and stuff. So I'm thankful. Do you know what I mean? I'm grateful. That's all I can say, really. I might not be like doing as well as other people, but I don't feel like I need to. Do you know what I mean? It's all in your head, your own perspective. Do you know what I mean? It's like if money really matters to you, it's gonna really matter to you. If it don't matter to you, it's not. Or if it's not the most important thing to you, it's not gonna matter to you as much. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Admittedly, we've all got responsibilities, and we need to take care of those responsibilities. Some have got more responsibilities than others, so they need more money than others. But yeah, it's all perspective. Do you know what I mean? Some people they could have 80 billion and it still wouldn't be enough. Do you know what I mean? But some people can have, I don't know, 20 grand in the bank and be quite happy. Do you know what I mean? It's like some people can have even less than that. Some people can have 600 pound in the bank and be happy. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Everyone's different. Do you know what I mean? It's just perspective. Do you know what I mean? It's all perspective, really. And depending on what your outgoings are and incomings are, do you know what I mean? It's all perspective, really. Do you know what I mean? But as long as you're getting by, as long as you're surviving, then really you got a lot to be thankful for. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Not everyone thinks like that though, but I do personally. Do you know what I mean? I've come to realise that nothing's ours really. We can't take any of it with us, and it all belongs to the Lord. And at the end of the day, if you got what you need, that's all you need. Do you know what I mean? Everything else is just excess that you don't really need that could go to someone who's poor. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Do you know what I mean? But everyone thinks differently. Do you know what I mean? Everyone thinks differently. Everyone's got a different opinion. So I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but this is my opinion. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, some people might say, "Oh, you got a defeatist attitude. You're negative and stuff like that." Some people would say that to me, but no, I'm not. I'm the opposite. In fact, I'm not negative. I don't feel the need to have copious amounts of money to feel good about myself. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them excess money that I don't even need to feel good about myself. I'm not negative in the slightest. Do you know what I mean? If anything, I'm positive because I manage my money okay. Do you know what I mean? That's the truth. Do you know what I mean? I always get by. So, do you know what I mean? If you're getting by, you're getting by. Do you know what I mean? So, it's one of them. Um, I may not be rich, nothing like at all, but I always manage to get by. Do you know what I mean? By the grace of God. So, I may not have a lot. I haven't got a lot. Do you know what I mean? But I always get by the grace of God, and I'm very happy about that. Do you know what I mean? I don't take it for granted. If God ever blesses me with more, then He does. But if He doesn't, then I'll be quite happy still. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm getting what I need to get by. So it's one of them. It's all perspective. Do you know what I mean? It's all perspective. Totally all perspective. Um, but a lot of people will disagree with me. I know that. Do you know what I mean? But am I wrong, really? Do you know what I mean? When you really think about it. But yeah, it's one of them. Everyone thinks differently, so who says we need all this like security and everything? And do you know what I mean? It's like the Matrix. Do you know what I mean? That's who says it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, admittedly, the Bible does say about leaving an inheritance for your grandchildren or your children's children. So you should try and do that. Do you know what I mean? But if you really break it down, do you know what I mean? As long as you're getting by, that's the most important thing. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. But I agree, you should try and leave an inheritance for your children or your children's children. You should try and do that. You should always work towards that, I believe. But life's not black and white, do you know what I mean? The shades of grey, and it's like that may be the case, do you know what I mean? You may be able to do that, or I may be able to do that, I don't know, do you know what I mean? Time's gonna tell, so it's one of them, but yeah, but I don't worry about that because it's not my immediate concern. My immediate concern is just getting by from week in, week out. Do you know what I mean? That's my immediate concern. And as long as I can do that, I'm not really bothered about anything else, to be honest with you. I'm just not. Do you know what I mean? Admittedly, I'd like to have a bit of money as well, just to be comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Admittedly, but as long as I'm getting by, that's my main priority. Do you know what I mean? As long as I'm paying my bills, as long as I'm got my spend for the month and everything, and I've got food in, and I can get clothes when I need them and everything. As long as all this is okay, as long as all that's okay, then that's all I'm bothered about. Do you know what I mean? But everyone thinks differently. Do you know what I mean? But I feel very blessed at the moment, to be honest with you. I do. And it's not really because I am blessed. I am blessed, but it's like, it's not because I'm majorly blessed, because I'm not majorly blessed. Like, but I haven't said that compared to some people in some countries. I am majorly blessed. Do you know what I mean? So it's all perspective again, like I say. But I suppose compared to people in the UK, I'm not that majorly blessed, but I still feel blessed. I mean, this is the thing, because I've got a good perspective on it. Do you know what I mean? I've got a good way of looking at things and a good way of thinking about it, that other people might not have. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I'm quite content. Do you know what I mean? Quite yeah, I'm okay. Do you know what I mean? I'm fine, but some people it may get them down. It may, because they got a different perspective. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, but I feel blessed to be in this country because you can always get, if you stay on the straight and narrow, you can always get somewhere to live. You've always got food. There's always food banks. There's always people handing out food on the streets. It's like it's good. Do you know what I mean? It's like you got, it's good. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can say. I think there's a reason why so many people want to come to the UK, and do you know what I mean? It's a good country to live in. Do you know what I mean? So I feel very blessed to live here, even though it's got its problems. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people would moan and say it's this, it's that, and everything. It's not good and everything, or it's not how it used to be. But it's still a good country to live in. Do you know what I mean? Because even though it's not as good as what it used to be, it's still a good country to live in. There's still a lot of good things about the country. So yeah, the NHS might not be the best, but there's still an NHS. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Like I say, you can always get food. There's always people handing out food. There's always food banks. There's stay on the straight and narrow, and you can always get somewhere to live pretty much. Even if it's just a room in a house or whatever, it doesn't matter, does it? It's still a roof over your head. So yeah, it's still a good country to live in. Do you know what I mean? I feel blessed to live here, to be honest with you. And I feel blessed to be in the situation I'm in. Like I say, at one time, the life I'm living now used to be my prayer. I used to pray for this when I used to pray for this, like the life that I'm living now, like years ago, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like it, I'm living that life now, and it's like yeah, I could want more. I could want a better life, obviously, because it's like to a lot of people, it's not the best life what I'm living. Do you know what I mean? But to me, it's a pretty good life. Do you know what I mean? It is. Do you know what I mean? It's a pretty good life. I want to get back into work, and that's what I'm going to look to do after I've done my course. I'm going to look to do an apprenticeship. Whether it be a level 3 or a level 4, depending on how I do on the course. That's my plan. That's what I'm plan on doing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I believe in God, and I believe good things come to those who wait. And do you know what I mean? If you're impatient, if you're not grateful, then you might get it by hard work. But do you know what I mean? It'll be probably be painful toil. Do you know what I mean? Whereas there are blessings that can come from the Lord that aren't painful toil. Do you know what I mean? That like the blessings of the sky, the sun, the moon, the sea, trees, fruit, drinks, food. Do you know what I mean? And like when He blesses you for being generous as well. Do you know what I mean? That hasn't happened to me yet, but I believe in the Lord, so I believe it will happen at some point. But don't know when, if it's gonna happen. We're gonna see. Do you know what I mean? But because I believe in the Lord, I believe it will happen. I've done a lot of good deeds in my life, so I think it will come back to me. So yeah, that's all I can say really. But in God's timing, do you know what I mean? Whenever He decides, the Lord's timing is the Lord's timing. It's not anyone else's timing. It's what He thinks is best for you and what He thinks is best for the greater good. So it's one of them. Um, but yeah, I don't. I'm not bothered. I won't be bothered if the Lord bless me or not, like in some way or not, because at the end of the day, I'm getting by, and that's all I care about. Do you know what I mean? Genuinely, that is all I care about. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting by. I'm building my education up. I'm gonna do an apprenticeship. Do you know what I mean? Life's not that bad, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like it could be a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's all perspective. Do you know what I mean? It's all perspective in life. As long as you're getting by, do you know what I mean? If that's the main thing, that's the biggest thing, really, getting by. Do you know what I mean? If you're not getting by, then you gotta worry. But if you're getting by, you ain't really gotta worry. Do you know what I mean? So if you got a roof over your head, if you got food in your cupboards, drink, that that's it. Do you know what I mean? Clothes on your back. That's it. That's all you need. Do you know what I mean? If you got that, you're good. Do you know what I mean? You don't even need money in the bank. Do you know what I mean? If you got those things, food, clothes, roof over your head, you're good. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. Um, Everyone wants to live differently. Some people, they like going out and they like celebrating and enjoying themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? But me, I like a peaceful life. I like a quiet life. I'm not really one for going out really on the whole. I do go to social clubs sometimes just to get out and socialise a little bit, but yeah, as far as going out for nights out and stuff, I got no desire for that whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? I might go out for a meal if I find myself a girlfriend or a wife. Then yeah, we'll go out for a meal, or we'll go out for a few drinks. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if I haven't got that, I'm not really concerned. I'm not. It's not something I want to do on my own. It's not something I want to do with friends, because a lot of the time one drink turns into 10 drinks, and it's like that doesn't appeal to me. I'm a Christian, do you know what I mean? I believe in being sober minded um and not getting drunk. This is what I believe in, so it doesn't appeal to me, do you know what I mean? So yeah, and I'm looking for a wife or a serious girlfriend. I'm not looking for a one night stand or a bit of fun. So none of that appeals to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, it was about 5 years ago the last time I sexually sinned, and that was a one off. And before that, it was like 2009. So that's like 10 years ago. Before then, so do you know what I mean? It's like that's how dialed in I've been to the Lord and what I want from life. Do you know what I mean? It's like, admittedly, there were other reasons. There were other reasons at the time, like from 2009 to that time, where I never. Admittedly, there was other reasons as well, which I won't go into. Um, but yeah, since the 5 year ago, I could have sexually sinned a few times in that time. Do you know what I mean? Quite easily, I probably had the opportunity to, but I don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe in it. Got no desire for one night stands or fun or anything like that. I only want a serious girlfriend or a wife, and that's all. That's all I'm interested in. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. This is a long ass video, but yeah. I'm just happy living life. I'm happy to be alive, guys. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can say, because life's the biggest blessing. Do you know what I mean? It's the biggest blessing. Just being breathing, having your eyesight. Admittedly, I wear glasses now, so my eyesight's not fantastic. But just having your eyesight, your health, being alive. Do you know what I mean? It's a huge blessing. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter about the wealth, the stuff you can't take with you. Do you know what I mean? It's none of that really matters on the grand scheme of things. Do you know what I mean? It's just about trying to enjoy life and trying to doing the best for yourself that you can do, and being grateful. Do you know what I mean? That's it really. Being grateful for what you have, even if it's not much in some people's eyes. Like I say, it's the dream you once had that you dreamt for back in the day, and, and now you've got it. Do you know what I mean? So be grateful for it. Do you know what I mean? Someone else's dream. So that's it, guys. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. And God likes gratitude as well. This is what I found about the Lord. He likes gratitude. He's more likely to bless you if you're grateful. Do you know what I mean? If you got a grateful heart. This is just what I believe. Do you know what I mean? If you're thankful for what you've got, He's more likely to bless you with more if you like that. I believe personally, knowing what I know about God. But yeah, I believe the Bible's the truth. Everything it says in the Bible, I believe it's the truth. And we're going to see if it is or it isn't. Do you know what I mean? But if it is, then life will be a mixed bag. Do you know what I mean? It will be good and bad. Do you know what I mean? That's the nature of life. If the Bible's true, I believe. If not, it'll probably be all bad. But I don't worry about that. Do you know what I mean? Because some things are out of your control. Like someone I know said he believes your life's mapped out for you before you're born, and I have to agree. To be honest with that, I believe it is mapped out. Based on how your parents were, your grandparents, and how that's all passed down to you, and how it affects you, and God could foresee it all before it even happened. You know what I mean? It's just generational curses, generational stuff that you have to work through, that everyone has to work through, and some people manage to work through it. Some people it takes a bit of extra time to do that. Some people it takes longer than others to do that. It's just it varies for different people for different reasons. So yeah, this is what I believe, pretty much. But God could foresee it all. God can foresee every outcome, every possibility, everything. God knows all. Do you know what I mean? So it's the only person, the only thing you can trust in is God. You can't trust in any person. Even the best people will let you down sometimes. Probably not intentionally, but they'll still let you down. God's the only one that's got unfailing love all the time, and that's just the way it is. God can't fail you, so that's what I've found. This is what I've found so far. I mean, I might learn differently, but if I do, then I'll adapt and grow and do what I need to do. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, do you know what I mean? But I fully believe. I don't worry about that because I believe there is a God and I believe in the Bible. I don't think someone would have wrote it all in the Bible if it weren't true. Wrote all those laws, all those decrees, all those declarations if it weren't true. So I believe it's true. I believe the Bible's true. So yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, guys. That's all I can say, really. Happy to be alive. That's it. That's all I want to say. Take care, guys. God bless. Much love. And I'll be back soon. Thanks for supporting the channel and me. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Keep you all in my prayers. God bless, guys. Thank you.